Hello my gorgeous loves out there and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be ranking my recent palette purchases. And I'm just going to give you all of my final thoughts in a ranking style. But before we get into this video, if you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Bri and I'm just a crazy lover of all things beauty and I like to post a lot of fun, colorful makeup content. I like to do a lot on any makeup, so if that is what you're into, then please hit that subscribe button and join this little family. But with that being said, let's get into this video. Alright, I'm going to make this intro quick, so this video won't be too long. But I have palettes that, like I said, I've been trying out, testing out, taking to work, using them multiple times so I can finally give you guys my final thoughts on them. And I do it in a ranking from my least favorite to my most favorite. Now, none of these are bad palettes. I think they're all high quality. I just ranked them in different spots for reasons such as color story, cohesiveness, likeliness of me to use it, how much do I gravitate towards it, just different factors like that, not so much on actual quality or performance of the shadow. So I just wanted to put that out there. Also, if you are curious about this eye look, I did film it. I think it came out so beautiful. It's a brown greeny look. I used the Lethal Mellow Grove palette. I have a video coming up. It probably will be up before this one. So if it is up, I'll link it below. I'll put it up in the corner if you want to see how I did this look. I also have the Lunar Beauty Moonshroom palette in that video as well. So now let's jump into the ranking. So at the bottom of the ranking, which I feel just weird putting this at the bottom because I really love Glaminatrix, but I guess I had higher expectations for this Pretty in Pastel palette. I do feel like the lighter shades weren't as pigmented as I would expect from Glaminatrix, and I do feel like the pastels in here lean a little too dark to be true pastels on me. I think some of them translate as pastels, and maybe if you had a deeper skin tone than me, then they would probably come off more pastel on your skin tone. But for me, they weren't light enough and they weren't as pigmented as I would like them to be. And I just overall was expecting more. Even though I do love the metallics in here, I love Glaminatrix metallic formula, I just feel like there's pastel palettes in my collection that I love even more, especially the Blend Bunny Sickly Sweet palette. That's my go-to pastel palette, which is the same kind of setup, just more shades. And I know I'm going to reach for that one over this one. So that is why I put it at the bottom of the ranking, but the quality is still really nice in here. And I love Glaminatrix. Just this was just not the go-to pastel palette that I expected. Then the next on the ranking, which I think the reason why I put this a bit lower is because I don't feel like I could use this as a standalone palette. This is the Charmer palette. Now, it is beautiful. It's from Unearthly. It was in their Valentine's Day mystery box. I love these romantic berry tones in here with a little bit of green, but it's overall leaning dark. I do feel like a lot of these shades kind of look the same once you put them on the lids, like these three. They have slightly different shifts going on, but I do wish that there was a little bit more variety. I wish that there was maybe a limey green in here, and I do wish that there was some lighter metallics to use as inner corner highlights, because these all just lean a little just too dark to be inner corner highlights on me. Even this one, because it kind of has a color base to it, so it kind of has a cast in my inner corner. So I do have to pull in other palettes, and I just feel like it needed a little bit more variety, even though it's absolutely stunning. I wish maybe this one was a little bit more neon. That would have made it gorgeous little shade if it was more neon. And then I wish these were a little bit more different. But besides that, the quality is excellent, and I think it's beautiful. I just can't truly use this as a standalone palette, and that's why it is lower on the ranking this time. Then the next palette on the ranking is the Spring Dragon palette from Uden's Eye. It was a collab with Judy. This is a beautiful pastel color story. It's really high quality. I feel like the mattes are definitely more pigmented than the ones that were in the Glaminatrix palette, and it's a fun little curated pastel palette, travel friendly. The only thing is I don't wear pastels all year round. It's really only in spring that I wear pastels, and every now and then I'll pull a pastel for an inner corner highlight, but if it's already in the palette that I'm using, I'll probably just use that one. So I don't see myself using this as much as the other palettes that I'm going to show you. But if I want a travel friendly pastel palette, or just a convenient little palette to pull out for a few pastels, I can see myself using this. But yet again, Blend Bunny Sickly Sweet will probably get pulled over this one, because that is just my favorite pastel palette and is outshining every pastel palette in my collection right now. So I do feel like I would end up pulling for that one over this one. And that's why I just ranked it a little lower, because I just don't know if I'm going to use it as much as I probably should, because it's really good. Then going on to the Uden's Eye palette, the Earthwood palette. This is a collab with Tina from the Fancy Face. This one is more muted than her other color story that was a little bit more bold from her first collab with Uden's Eye. So it has more nudie tones with some muted colors in here. I find it more on the grungy fall side, and I really love it. Now, I don't feel like this really adds a lot to my collection because I have a lot of color stories like this, but I still think it's high quality and really, really good. I just tend to go towards the vibrant, bold shades more often than anything. So I feel like this one will like be pulled out when I'm in the mood for something a little bit more muted. But I'm just like a crazy vibrant color lover. So that is why it's just like a little more, maybe kind of in the middle. I just think the other palettes I want to show you, I would probably gravitate towards more in terms of like color story and all that, but still very, very good. And then I have this one from Adept Cosmetics, which I'm surprised this is on the higher end because it is a nudie color story, but something about this is so rich and dreamy. It gives a date night, it gives girls night. Like the colors are just really saturated and really rich, like these rich browns, and the metallics are creamy and smooth and sparkly. And I've just reached for this way more than I expected. I've worn it to work, I've gone out for girls night, I've worn it on date night, and I've loved just like the glamorous richness of the colors on my eyes. I feel just really beautiful and sexy in these shades. So that's why I ranked it higher up than these other palettes, because I just can't stop using it. It's like my rich glam palette right now. It's really good, and I'm loving this formula. The matte's really nice in here, and I'm loving these metallics. I feel like they're easier to use, not as thick and maybe foiled and textured as some of their other shimmers have been in other palettes. So this has been a go-to lately. I just cannot get enough of it. Then the next palette, which we're at what, 4 now, is the ItsBel Cosmetics Under the Full Moon palette. This one I ranked pretty high up there because I find this color story just really unique and different. Like there's a little bit of a twist to this. So it does have like those gray shades, it has blues, then it has some goldy shades in here, and then some like minty pops, a little bit of periwinkle. I don't think I have anything quite like this in my collection, and I thought the formula was excellent in this one. The metallics are foiled and high shine, and the mattes were beautifully pigmented. I love these tones. I like that I could go grungy and like warm and olivey and gold, or I can go more cool tone and lean into the grays, or I can mix them all together. But there was just something different about this that I hadn't seen in other palettes before, and it's hard to make something unique in the makeup world. It's so saturated. There's so many brands, so many palettes out there, so you have to do something extra special to get a unique color story to come across in the makeup world. And I just think ItsBel is a very high quality brand. I do feel like they're a more affordable indie brand than other indie brands out there. Their palettes are not in that like $60 range that a lot of indie brands are at. They keep it at like the $40 to a little under that, which I think makes it more accessible to a lot of people, and it's just really good. It's really special. I'm loving these tones. And that is why it's number 4 in the ranking. And then number 3 on the ranking, which is the Mighty Monster palette. There's something about this too, even though it leans nudie, there is some pops in here, but I love the mix of these shades. I love that I can go colorful, I can go nudie. By the way, this is a collab with Annette from Annette's Makeup Corner with Uden's Eye. I just really love her color choices. Her makeup style totally lines up with my makeup style. She loves a lot of bold colors. She does really interesting looks. So she always picks shades that I know I'm going to love. And I just love that there's warmth in here. There's cool tones in here. This matte blue is super pigmented. And for a smaller palette, you can do a lot with this. And I think this one was my favorite out of all the palettes that are in the legendary Diversa 2 collection. I just really gravitate to it. And I just like the mix of some of these browns in here. If I want to tone down the look or do like a nudie look with a pop of color, I can do that with this palette. So that is number 3 in the ranking. And then number 2 is the Cyborg Choir palette from Adept Cosmetics. This has the most stunning, beautiful holographic shimmers ever. Like, some of these just have these multicolor shimmers. They're intense and just so beautiful on the eyes. And if a palette has stunning, gorgeous metallics in it, it's probably going to rank high because I am a shimmer metallic fiend. That is what I gravitate towards. I am okay with doing an all shimmer look over an all matte look. Like, mattes are great, but shimmers are even better. So these are just extra special. And I think this is the first time Adept did like really holographic shimmers in a palette. And I also thought the mattes in here were really nice and coordinated with the shimmers. And I like the variety of colors in here, like this bright yellow, then you got some blues, purples, pinks. Like, this is totally my jam and very, very good. Like, one of my favorites from Adept Cosmetics, because these hollow shades, they're everything. Oh gosh, I can't get enough. I even use them on my nails to make like fun holographic nail colors. And then number 1, which I wasn't expecting this to be number 1, but Blend Bunny just has my heart, and it's the Machina palette, which is then number 1 on the ranking, which I wasn't expecting to be number 1. I just kind of picked it up on a whim because there was a discount. And I was like, you know what, I want to pick that one up. I'm still thinking about it. And for some reason, I just didn't pick it up on the launch. But it's the Blend Bunny Machina palette. The quality in here is amazing. Like, I don't know what Blend Bunny is doing, but they're doing something extra special with their formula, especially in their mattes. These mattes are pigmented, intense. Like, this one right here is so beautiful, like all in the inner corner or the inner lid. It's so bright and neon, and then the matte white is intense. The like deeper shades are very pigmented. I just think Blend Bunny just nailed it with their matte formula, and I don't gravitate to mattes. Like I said, I'm a shimmer girl, so these mattes are so good that I want to do all matte looks with this palette, which is rare for me, but Blend Bunny is just able to do that for me. And then this also has some really beautiful shifty metallics. Like, this one I think is a multi-chrome. This one has a shift to it, and then the other ones are just smooth and sparkly, and I just love the setup. You have so many options in here. You got the grungy shades, you got the purples, you got like this warm, ready, peachy moments here. You got some like blues and smoky tones if you want to do a great smoky look. So you can just go all over with this look and do so many different looks. So it is very, very good. Well thought out color story, so many options, and then amazing quality. Like, what could go wrong with a palette like that? Nothing. And that is why I rank this at the top. I can just see myself using this a lot, and I get excited when I look at it, and I'm just like, oh, I can't wait to do this color story. I can't wait to do this color story on my eyes. And for a palette to make me want to use it over other palettes, it means it's a good one and that it's very, very special. So that was number 1 on the ranking, and all of the palettes that I recently bought and my like final thoughts on them, all of them I've tested out several times. I've been taking them to work and like using them for like the entire week and just creating different looks every day. So I really got a chance to really test out all of the palettes in the formula, and I'm happy with all of them. I've just enjoyed using them, and I'm happy to have them all in my collection. So you guys would now have to let me know, what are your thoughts in the comments below? Did you purchase any of these? Did you pass on any of them? I would love to hear from all of y'all. And if you're new here and you enjoy this video, you like a lot of fun, colorful makeup content, you like a lot on indie makeup, and if you like ranking videos, then please hit that subscribe button and join this little family. I would love to have you here. Also, don't forget to check out the description below. I will have all the palettes linked. I'll have all the videos that I've done on any of these palettes if you want to see them in action, see me create different looks with them. And I will have my makeup link. Like I said, I did film this. I'll link my foundation and all that, and the video of me using the Lethal palette if you want to see how I created this. And I will have my contact and my social media platforms linked. I'm also on Instagram as Breezy Lifestyle and Breezy_beauty. So if you want to join my Instagram fam, I would really, really love that. But guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, for being here, for supporting me, being amazing. I just appreciate you guys all so much, and I just hope all of you are doing well wherever you are in the world, and just send you guys so much light and love. But until next time, bye guys.